Hello and welcome back to a Kooky Corner of YouTube. Barry White has been banished. I am back. Well, almost. Anyway, it's the 1st of July, isn't it? Yeah, 1st of July, which means that we get a new prompt for our Kooky Postcard Sew-a-long projects that we've been doing together. And I am so happy that so many of you have chosen to join me on this little journey throughout the year. So these are the cards that I made, postcards that I made for this past month, so June. This was, the prompt was Yellow Brick Road, and so many of you just went for it, absolutely went for it, and did beautiful things. Sally Rosier actually started a new craft to learn some needle felting. I'm so wrapped. So many people have just really actually knocked this one out of the park. But I will show you that video in a second. So yes, such fun to be had by just playing, just playing, just not caring too much about whether your stitches are even, just having some fun with a prompt as you would have done when you were about 5 or 6. And I think that's part of the joy of creating things. It's getting back in touch with your inner child, and this one for me was one of those things, because The Wizard of Oz was one of my favourite films of all time. In fact, in my bedroom I have a picture by Kerry Darlington with the 4 characters and beautiful resined backgrounds and everything. But yeah, if you want to check out Kerry Darlington's work, you'll see what I mean. The Wizard of Oz, specifically the Emerald City one, oh, so good. Anyway, that's a vision that I look up, that I see every night before I go to sleep and every morning when I wake up. So it's a big deal. I did these 2 pieces. This one was a mainly stitched piece with my lovely felt applique. You know I love felt. And this one was a needle felted piece with Toto and rainbow colours in the background, and we've got the Yellow Brick Road running up the middle. So let's have a look at what everyone else did, shall we? Run VT. Aren't they amazing? Aren't they absolutely amazing? The amount of effort and thought that people put into doing these. And all you have to do is have a go. You get a month to make one. So you've got a fair amount of time to think about what you want to do. All the prompts are already published. So you can have an idea of what's coming next as well. And I kind of release them in batches of 4. So we've had 2 batches of 4, another 2 batches to go after this one. That was quite confusing, wasn't it? I'll explain all later, don't worry. So this month's prompt, if anybody's wanting to know, wanting to join in, it doesn't matter if you've made one before, it doesn't matter if you started from the beginning, it doesn't matter. Just have a go, join in. You can go from July to July if you want to. That is completely up to you. You can go back and look at the prompts and make them if you've got extra time. It's not necessary. There are no postcard police. I say this quite often. I'm not going to come around and knock on your door and say, excuse me, you didn't do the other 6 prompts before you did this one. I think you're disqualified and I'm going to take away your license for stitching. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Please join in, have a go. And this month's prompt, she said, after all the waffle, is typically tropical. Typically tropical. A little wordy thing coming up here, hopefully. So typically tropical, you can go to town, you could go tropical islands, you could have a tropical drink. I like birds. I don't know if you know that. If you've been with me for a while, you'll know. So when I was away, I've been away on a holiday and I had very, very limited supplies, I have to say. And I realised I hadn't done my examples for this month. I knew I probably got a bit of time when I got back, but I hadn't got time to do 2. So while I was away, I did this one. Very simple. It is, if you've had one of my rainbow stitching kits, the postcard kits, you'll have had some of these birds in there as well. This piece of fabric was from the Norwegian museum that I went to, not museum, contemporary art exhibition place, and words fail me. And that was from their stitching basket, and I just had that little snippet left of the fabrics that I used to make some of the things there. I might show you in a minute what I actually made when I was there. But I created this one. Now, when I was at school, junior school, we were really into Harry Belafonte. Well, we weren't particularly, but my music teacher was. And we actually had a recital, a choir recital, where we all sang some Harry Belafonte songs. And I was probably about 9 or something, and we learnt this one, which was the Yellow Bird song. I think other people have recorded it as well, but I just remember my music teacher playing it to us on a record, one of the vinyl records. And it's Yellow Bird up high in banana tree. And because I had a yellow bird, the yellow bird went on there. We've got a little bit of stitching going round, a little bit of slow stitching if you want, some blanket stitching around the edges to hold it all together. Really simple. You can go as simple, as easy as you want. This one reminds me of the days when I was learning how to sing this song. Oh, it was so good. All of us together trying to sing in harmony for this particular song, and we did the recital. It went quite well as far as I can remember. Anyway, that's the first one, she said, after all the waffle. And then when I got back, I did this one. Obviously, I love birds, you know this. And I went for a typically tropical bird. This is a toucan. And here he is. It's a stitched background again, with my usual felt additions, my usual little bits of glitz that I always add on there. Some of these little fabrics and things came from my lovely friend Carrie, who sent me a bag full of bits a while ago, and I've used some on his wings. Got some little feathers, I've got some little button fruits going on here, and a couple of tropical leaves. And those are my 2 pieces. So one is purely stitched, this one has felt additions. You could easily needle felt a background. You could easily, if you wanted to, have a go at needle felt in a bird, if you wanted to. Think of all the tropical birds you can think of, but you can go a different way. Tropical islands, tropical colours, you just think outside the box. It doesn't have to be, something that you'd instantly think of. Just try and think of the colours that you might use, and try and think of doing an abstract piece maybe. Whatever floats your boat. So that is typically tropical. That will go until the end of July, and at the end of July, 1st of August, I will post a reel showing all of the entries to all of the people who've had a go at making a postcard for the prompt and have sent me a picture. Now you can send me a picture a couple of ways. You can post it on my Facebook page. You can post it on Instagram with a tag, which should be this one. It's Kooky Postcard Sal 2024, and it has Jul at the end, Jul, July. Oh no, yes, that's right, July. I'm losing my train of thought. So those ways I will search for and get them. Instagram is very unreliable at the moment for using tags. So if you want to make sure it gets to me, if you post it on my Facebook page underneath the place where I've put the prompts, I usually put up the prompt a couple of times a month just to jog you along in case you've forgotten. So any of those posts you can send it me via message on Facebook. Alternatively, if you're in the Discord channel, if you're in the Arty Fartis Discord channel, then please do private message me there or put it in the prompt, anywhere you can think of, so that I can get hold of your picture to include within the reel. That's enough waffle on that from me. So I hope you get some ideas, not necessarily from these are just my ideas of things that I wanted to do, and that one just made me giggle so much thinking about learning how to sing this song. Have a listen to it if you can find a version of Harry Belafonte's Yellow Bird. See if you can imagine a 9-year-old me trying to master that one. Anyway, that is enough of the postcards. I wanted to catch you up because I've not been very well, so I didn't have a chance to do a video of my ICAD, the index card a day set from last week, which I will do now. So catching you up with ICAD, index card a day, a great thing run by Daisy Yellow. So I do Daisy Yellow's index card a day. Prompts are put up weekly, and I tend to print them out and put them on this card, and this was for week 4, which finished on the Friday that's just gone. So our prompts for this week were tulip, hummingbird, coffee or tea, fold, strawberry, opaque, and steampunk. Theme for this particular set, because she also gives a theme as well, it was paint and mixed media. So I was away for most of this. In fact, I came back on the Friday, but I think I'd finished them all. Yeah, I'd finished them all by then. So let's go through them. I'll leave that there so we can see what we're looking at. So the first one was tulip, and I went with collage, and this was a pre-printed index card that I took with me. Thank heavens I took some pre-printed cards, because I didn't really have time to do any painting as such. So this was collage on top of that. There we go, that was for the 22nd. Hummingbird, again the collage on a pre-printed background. This was an ink jelly print in the background, and then I've gone over the top with some mixed media, a little drawing of a bird that was collaged on, and some flowers. So that was that one. Coffee or tea is the next one. Why choose? Let's do both. So this was ink drawing with pencil and watercolour. For that one. This one was fun. I loved this one. This fold, and I was trying to think of ways to do this. So we've got what you would probably know as an exquisite corpse. It was kind of a thing where you fold paper and then you draw different things on it. So this is my take on that. So on the one front, it's 2 index cards. On the front, we've got this beautiful spook saying go, go, boo, not go. He's not saying go, he's saying come on, say hello. And then we fold it over to reveal, which way does that one go? A bear saying roar. Inner child, just go with it. And then if you fold it a different way, you get this guy, the little flappy bat. It says flap. Now you can play around with this and get some really weird combinations. You've got a bear arm and a wing with a jumper. You can actually give the bear a jumper as well if you want to. Just flap over there. So he can actually wear his little orange vest. Such fun. I had a blast making this. These were 2 jelly printed cards that I took with me. I used one of them to paint the ghost on, stuck it on, cut it up, and then played around with it. So that was for fold. So you have to fold the pieces in order to reveal all the different characters. Strawberry. I just went with some strawberries. These are pencil and watercolour. This is my mixed media, and a little bit of neo colour on top of there as well. And a little bit of my Stickles glitter, just to finish that off. Can you see that shining? I don't know if you can. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. There it is. Opaque was the next one. I had a pre-painted card that I just went to town with some opaque paint markers. So it's acrylic paint and also gel pen on here too, along with a little bit of the Stickles. Bit more shiny going on there. And the last one was steampunk. This was a gel printed card I took with me. This has got collage on top of it, a little bit of lettering there as well, and some nice acrylic ink to finish that one off. So that was my week 4 of ICAD, and that is now all complete. We're on to week 5 at the minute, which is fun because it's ink and I'm having a blast with that one, but I will show you those hopefully on Friday this week when that particular section finishes. There we go. So things I made when I was away. I've obviously been continuing with my Jerry Bellini's Dot a Day. I'll show you some of that further on down the week when I've done a bit more. I have been continuing with my crocheted diamonds to make my scrap yarn hoodie. So that's another project that has been ongoing. But also, when you're on board, the particular ship I was on, they're craft classes. Oh my gosh, have such fun. Just connecting with all the lovely ladies down there. Sue and Jan were the instructors for our craft group. And we had a little show and tell of all our work that we made over the couple of weeks we were on board on the next to last day, I think it was. Anyway, I thought I'd show you a few things. Some of these I made with Sue and Jan. Some of these things I made actually in Norway in a place called Tromsø. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Sorry, Norwegian people, I am butchering your language. Yeah, so stop waffling, let's go through it. So the first thing I made was this beautiful lanyard holder. Sue had brought a whole ream of beautiful beads for us to play with, and all the different connector bits and everything. And so I made myself a lanyard holder, because when you're on board, you've got a little card that says who you are, so you can prove who you are and get back on the ship. It'd be sad if you couldn't, wouldn't it? You hear the crows in the background. They're shouting for their peanuts. Trying to get me to go out there and feed them peanuts. You can hear them. That's what they're squawking about. So yes, obviously I went with these beautiful, thank you bird, obviously went with these beautiful rainbow coloured beads, because that's right up my alleyway. And all, as I say, all the bits are supplied. You pay a little nominal fee to do this, but it's fine. Another thing I made with them were these beautiful bookmarks. I made one for me and one for my partner, and again with the beads. But look at these decorative bookmarks. This is the bit that goes in your book. This goes on the outside. Really cool. Had a fun time with those. The artist who's on board was doing all different kinds of things, and she was doing puffins. I did a little very, very quick watercolory sketch, but I really like puffins, so I might want to do some more on this and finish this off a little bit more. It's on a very thin paper, so I might just transfer it to some more watercolour paper and have a go drawing my puffin. The next thing, I went to this most wonderful museum. I'll put the name of it here, in Tromsø, and I was blown away by the fact that once you've been around the exhibition, there was a workshop space, an actual workshop in the Contemporary Art Museum, filled with everything that I could possibly want to play with. So we've got oil pastels, we've got crayons, we've got felt pens, we've got Sharpie markers, we've got acrylic paint, chalk markers, and all really good brands. Faber-Castell, you know. I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. Free paper. There was a big box of fabrics to stitch with, loads of threads, loads of beads, free tea and coffee while you're making. So I was there all morning. This is what I did. So this is Hugin and Munin. These are 2 crows that I did as part of the Feral Artists Club, which I'm part of on Instagram. And it was to do with hobby, and my hobby is painting birds, especially crows. Yes, boys, I'm coming with your peanuts in a minute. So these 2 were produced during that morning. Got a little bit of collage paper there on his beak. A bit of collage there and paint. Nice thick paper they gave as well. I was really impressed. So that was those 2. I did this guy. Let's take you up a little bit. So another one of my decorative crows. It's got a nice spiral going on there. And I think I'm going to make these into some greetings cards as well, like I've done previously with some of my other paintings. But I was so happy playing in there. I was in there. My other half went off for a walk, came back, I was still there. That's how it was. And then a stitch piece that I actually got part way through and finished off when I was on board. But all the background fabrics, all these beautiful fabrics and threads and beads and everything like that were supplied by the museum, absolutely free of charge. If only people museums in the UK did this, we might have a few more artists, perhaps. So yeah, I've been busy. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this catch up of all the little bits and bobs, but especially huge round of applause to all the lovely people who've taken the time to do their June postcard, and hopefully they're all going to have a go at the July one as well. So I will say goodbye from me for now. I'll be back here very soon with something else. Don't forget, like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. It means a lot to any of the channels that you might watch here on YouTube. Anyway, bye for now. See you soon.